Today, we're diving into one of the most significant questions in all of history, a claim that really is at the absolute heart of the Christian faith. So, let's just get right to it. Did Jesus ever actually directly say, "I am the Son of God"? A lot of people think the answer is kind of vague, but if you look at the evidence in the books of Daniel and Matthew, it's surprisingly direct once you know how to connect the pieces.
You see, the key isn't in some simple one-off statement. It's actually wrapped up in this specific and kind of puzzling title that Jesus used for himself all the time. And figuring it out is like a real-life historical detective story.
And that title is the Son of Man. He used this phrase to refer to himself more than any other. He uses it to talk about everything, including his own death and resurrection. But it was so much more than just a random label. So, what did this title actually mean back then? To our modern ears, Son of Man might sound like he's just, emphasizing his humanity. But for his first century Jewish audience, oh man, those words carried an explosive divine weight. To really get his claim, we have to unlock the original meaning of this title. And to find the clue, we can't just look at his own time. We actually have to go way back. We're talking hundreds of years before he was even born, deep into the ancient Hebrew scriptures. The source for this title comes from a famous vision recorded by the prophet Daniel in the 7th chapter of his book. And believe me, this is the key that unlocks everything. So who is this Son of Man in Daniel's prophecy? Well, he's no mere mortal. Daniel describes a divine figure coming from heaven who is given everlasting authority, glory, and, get this, is worshipped by every single nation on earth. Listen to the original text from Daniel chapter 7 itself. It says, "One like a son of man was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations worshipped him." That is, without a doubt, the description of a divine king, not just an ordinary person. So here's the crucial point. When Jesus called himself the Son of Man over and over again, he wasn't just claiming to be human. He was intentionally and publicly identifying himself with this specific divine ruler from Daniel's prophecy. It was a huge claim, hiding in plain sight. Okay, so with that critical background from Daniel in our back pocket, let's fast forward to a pivotal moment. It's recorded in the Gospel of Matthew. The scene is Caesarea Philippi, and it's right here that Jesus brings this whole identity question to a head. This is where he puts the question to his disciples, and you have to notice his exact wording. He doesn't start by asking, "Who do people say I am?" No, first he asks, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" He is explicitly connecting his own identity to that divine prophetic title from Daniel. And the disciples report back what they're hearing on the street. The crowds are buzzing for sure, but they're confused. They know he's special, maybe a great prophet who came back from the dead like John the Baptist or Elijah. They see his power, but they're missing the true identity he's pointing toward. And then he just cuts through all the noise and makes it personal. He turns the question directly to his inner circle. He drops the Son of Man title for a moment and asks them, point blank, "But what about you? Who do you say I am?" And this brings us to the climax of the conversation. This is the moment where it all clicks. His disciple, Simon Peter, steps forward with an answer that will literally become the bedrock of Christian belief. And there it is. Peter connects the dots. He looks past the idea of a prophet or teacher, and he makes the ultimate declaration. "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." So this is the moment. Jesus asks about the divine Son of Man, and Peter answers with the Son of the living God. The two titles are now officially linked, but the final most crucial piece of evidence is Jesus' reaction. Does he rebuke Peter? Does he say, "Whoa, hold on, you've gone too far"? This brings us to the ultimate proof in this whole encounter, Jesus' direct response. And it's not a correction, it's not a denial, it is a powerful, totally unambiguous affirmation. Jesus' response is the confirmation we've been looking for. He tells Peter he is blessed, and then he declares that this truth wasn't revealed by human logic, but by my Father in heaven. He doesn't just accept the title, he claims its origin is God himself. So let's just lay this out clearly. On one side, you have Jesus kicking off the conversation by asking about the Son of Man, that divine king from Daniel's prophecy. On the other side, Peter answers with the Son of the living God. And the bridge connecting them? It's Jesus' own confirmation that this answer came directly from God the Father. So, the conclusion is inescapable. By using the divine Son of Man title to frame the question, and then affirming Peter's confession, Jesus was directly and deliberately claiming to be the Son of God. This historical moment does way more than just solve a puzzle about Jesus' identity. It leaves all of us with the very same question he put to his closest followers, a question that echoes down through history to each one of us. But what about you? Who do you say I am?